Hi, everybody. I haven't been here in a while. This is Dragon Tales episode, I believe, 18. So it does go to show that I have been on making a few of them anyway, and just really feeling into the energy of the magic that keeps unfolding with regards to dragon energy. And I love that I have my beautiful friend, Christina de Souza, with me today. And I want to tell you a little bit about our adventure. We've probably known each other for about a year now, and just kind of been in the same circle together, and then had an opportunity to do some collaboration together. And it's just been really, really magical witnessing her. And then as our conversations got more and more personal about our own lives, we recognized a lot of things that were maybe not necessarily similar, but definitely stepped into really recognizing how we wanted to live life, period. And because of that, I really wanted to share her with you because there's some really magical things happening with Christina. And one of them is, and I want to kind of maybe start with the background of yourself first. And everybody, you need to keep watching because she's going to talk about her Dragon Fire coffee. And you notice how I leaned in there. You want to wait and hear what this is all about. However, why would she be talking about not inner dragon? Did I say inner dragon? I meant dragon fire coffee. Yes, thank you. um, I'm inner dragon energy. Anyway, the thing I really wanted to highlight for everybody is really that you're the founder of the World Mastermind Cafe Inc. And to me, that is just such an incredible, powerful piece of who you are and really what you want to bring home for people with this World Mastermind Cafe Inc. And so, can you maybe just start with I had a dream, the Martin Luther piece of that. Please.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sandra. I did have a dream, and it was like most dreams. It was hard to hold on to at first. It kind of eluded me for a couple of years as I started my business. And the more people that I helped and the more people that I served, the more I realized what it was that attracted me to the work that I do. And it's these powerful conversations that really allow people to step into all that they are, wrap these powerful businesses around them, and be truly successful doing not only, getting their gifts out into the world, but making a real difference, feeling on purpose in the process. And the cafe came about. It's threaded back to some experiences in my young adulthood where I lived in Brazil. I lived on a coffee plantation, and I had this beautiful opportunity to sit with multiple generations of a family, proud Brazilian family, and I was offered a cup of coffee. And my host grandfather, leaned in and he says, "It's more than a cup of coffee." And I'm like, "What do you mean it's more than a cup of coffee?" And he tells me this incredible story about a coffee bean and how it takes several years before it'll bloom its first cherry, several more before it's ready to be harvested. And all I could think at that time in my life was, how does anybody commit to a dream that takes that long? And here I am 30 years later, well into my dream, and still having conversations around coffee and supporting people into their dreams and saying yes to all that is possible for them.
The hair on my arms is standing up because I can just feel the power, and do know, everybody, that at some point you'll need to really sit down with Christina and listen to that full story, because I've heard it, and it truly is like a TEDx talk. It's so powerful, very, very powerful, all about the coffee bean and the whole journey that it takes, and how you, Christina, really incorporate that in all the things that you do. You really got this beautiful branding, if you will, around coffee and what that all means. And the behind the scenes of this incredible how you help. Like, yes, you're bringing business people together, but your gift is that you recognize people's zone of genius and really help to bring it out. So I don't even know where I want to go with that, but what's coming up for you when I say that?
Um, I love this zone of genius. I think that we hear this a lot, especially in the coaching industry. If that's sort of where you lean in and you listen to and you have your mentors, you'll hear often this zone of genius. Um, I like to think of it as, those innate abilities that we have, that we're born with, these special gifts that we have that we're able to give the world. Often to others, it's something that amazes them. And to us, it sounds like, can't everybody do that? Is that not everybody's special thing? It feels quite natural and normal to us. And that's what makes sometimes it really hard for us as business owners to step into that place of confidence when it feels so natural instead of something special, something unique. That's what it feels like to others. But for ourselves, it doesn't feel like that. So sometimes it's really hard to see it. And what we often need is a group of individuals sitting around, listening to your dreams and hearing where you light up, where you get excited, the thing that makes your dream come alive. And when you can hear that reflected back to you more and more and more, you'll see people step into their genius zone.
Again, I'm going to keep doing this. The hair on my arms is standing up again. And you know what? This actually goes a lot deeper too, because I've been able to work very closely with you one-on-one, and that time has just been so very precious to myself. And not only has it been about how you've helped me to recognize my zone of genius, but also how you helped me personally, and I imagine you do this with each of the people that work with you, how to bring out those gifts in a different way. And like, I don't even know where to begin with that, because first of all, for myself, and I'm talking to the dragon people community right here, right now, right? Dragon energy is so relatively new in the grand scheme of humanity, I guess, if you will, and really stepping into really recognizing how does dragon energy come in. And for me now, the inner dragon energy has been very, very powerful, and how to bring that in. And you've watched me over this last year really, really struggle through that, and been such a beautiful guiding power. I don't use the word force, because you don't get in there and push and prod per se, but you're in there as this beautiful, eloquent power that has assisted me to really claim who I am in a much more powerful way. And with that in mind, you had your own inspiration because of coffee. Like, you are a coffee person. I don't drink coffee at all. And it was like, I'm walking around my kitchen before this, and I'm like, man, I should tell people to go grab their cups of coffee. So if you're watching the replay, push pause, go grab your cup of coffee and come back. In the meantime, I'm going to drink from my playful Lego cup. And tell us, there's something you shared with me the other day, and you really have as well. How do I this want to come through? Because I'm so much about the inner dragon energy, I'm really seeing how your own personal inner dragon energy has risen and has stood up. Your phrase for 2025 is super powerful. I haven't stood up to sit down. And I really wanted to emphasize that, because that's who you are, and that's who you're being for the people who join your community, is somebody who's going to show them how to stand up and no longer sit down. And because of that, things have started to drop into your awareness. And this is the part. Tell me about the Dragon Fire coffee. What happened with that?
Well, in my world, I delight in juicy conversations. And the thing I delight in the most is when people share their dreams and where those dreams are rooted and how they come about. And when someone really finds that thread straight through the way they want to express and share, much like you and dragons, myself, and having this really cool metaphor for a cafe and getting together on these really robust conversations. And through this playful conversation, to Sandra's audience here, Sandra and I have this very playful conversation. I said, I'll have to create something that really reflects these types of collaborations. I said, oh, I know, I'll create special in-house blends. I said, and yours and mine will be the Dragon Fire coffee. Now, Dragon Fire coffee, there is some like, other than it being Sandra's dragon and the coffee being, representative of the cafe, the fire in there is really what we were talking about that day. I was talking about that energetic signature we all have, very much like that coffee bean. And what makes us attractive is what is what we bring out into the world. It's that energy. It's how we feel. It's how we communicate. It's how we express ourselves. And Sandra, you were saying very similar things about, this fire breathing dragon and full expression. And so I pulled all these together and I expressed this on our call. And then I walked away and I thought, one of my favorite fall treats, and this is when this was happening, is Pirates chocolate. If nobody's had this, it's chilies in hot chocolate. And it's something that they drink in Latin America. It's really spicy. It's delicious. And I thought, ooh, that's how I'm going to do my dragon fire coffee for my family, being my children are part Brazilian, and we have this beautiful background, and coffee is definitely part of our culture. I thought, I'm going to mix some spice into our cappuccino mix that I put together, and I put it together. I gift it to my kids, and gifting it to my kids means I fill the container that they always bring home to mama to fill. The one, some have a cookie container. My kids have cappuccino jars. They bring it home, I refill. And I didn't do it intentionally, but I failed to tell them that I had doctored this up, and this was now the Dragon Fire Cappuccino. And my son calls raving, I want more. How did you do that? My container's now empty. When can I get a refill? And thus was born the Dragon Fire coffee, and it's delicious.
Oh, I absolutely love that. I wish I was on a different platform and I could heart and love and celebrate that, because it just the power of that. Like I'm getting the sense of truly the sense of the senses with the creating of it, like the thought pattern that comes in with that, and then too like the burst on the taste buds, the smell, just the sitting there and embracing the cup and the warmth of the cup. Like I'm just feeling every iota of the entire process with that, and it feels so very, very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a fun adventure. One of, another dragon tale and another story, the coffee bean. It's so much fun.
Exactly. Hey. So I wanted to share with the audience too, in this incredible world of social media platforms that we're on. I know I have a very close personal friend whose Facebook, her business profile was entirely hacked, and it created great havoc in her life. And I come to learn that the same thing happened to you roughly a year ago as well. And I just want to share again this World Mastermind Cafe Inc. Please, 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 everybody, do me a solid, do Christina a solid. Go and check out World Mastermind Cafe Inc. on Facebook and like it or follow it, whatever the case is. If you know her personally, leave a review or a testimonial for her. She has so much to offer the world, and yet somebody felt that they needed to darken that shadow. And I want to put a light back in here. I really want to put a spotlight on the World Mastermind Cafe, because it is a valid thing. You can go read my testimonial there about how I feel about my one-on-ones with Christina. And just, go check out the World Mastermind Cafe Inc. on Facebook. That's her business page. She's also Christina de Souza on her profile, and you'll see that she's got a very beautiful following on her profile. But let's bring that back up again on the World Mastermind Cafe Inc. Facebook page. And you do possibly have some Instagram and LinkedIn, is that correct? What would those be?
I have, it's the same. It's World Mastermind Cafe Inc. on Instagram, and it's Christina de Souza on LinkedIn.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels very, very powerful. What you know what I kind of want? I'd love for you to deliver a message to the people that, like myself, were struggling to find a way. What do you have? How would you like to share about yourself, or what would you like to share about yourself? Because I know you're very much like myself. It's not about I can do this for you or I can do that for you. It's more about how can they shine their light when they're in your light.
Yes, I believe that you and I are very similar in that we have really big hearted invitations. And my invitation through the World Mastermind Cafe is to take your seat at the table. It is so easy as business professionals to look to other businesses and to be inspired. And it is inspiring. It's inspiring to look at our colleagues, it's inspiring to look at other businesses and be impressed. And then what we accidentally do is we step in and try to be them. And somehow, when we miss the mark and we fail to succeed because we're inauthentic, we make it mean something about our capacity to really serve. When we take our seat, the one that has our name on it, the one that is seated with our dreams, that is when we create in the world, when we bring real services to the world and we can really make a difference in other people's lives. It's when it stops being confusing. In business, it's really confusing when we try to fill the shoes of someone else, when we don't quite have that dream. But when we hold our own, when we sit in our spot, when we take our seat and we make room for it, we talk about it with others, we feel inspired through the progress of others, we collaborate and stop competing. This is a powerful container. So my invitation is to create that space for yourself, to put people around you that are going to inspire you to help grow your business, your dreams, and to take your seat at the table.
Wow. You know what? There's something you said that it was, besides everything that you said there, that's super powerful. I heard or felt the energy of something very specific there. Let me just grab the tangent of this thread. Um, oh gosh, I feel like it's just floating there. So give me half a second here. I think, and I feel actually, I feel very much about the witnessing, how you witness, how like, that is so powerful because you take that part of witnessing and you go beyond that. And you're like, if you think of a Rolodex, Christina's like a Rolodex. Okay. So when seriously, for those who've experienced you, I think you'll understand where I'm going with this. Um, so you sit down in her circle and with your cup of coffee, if you will, or whatever it is at the table, and we express. And in that expressing, it's like this Rolodex is just rolling around, and these ideas are coming out of Christina that are so powerful for your business. And I'm not saying, I'm not pointing at Christina here for your business. I'm talking about you, the business owner who's watching this. And that's what Christina is helping you to develop for yourself as well, is how to incorporate those ideas or bring those ideas even to the table, to have the courage. And I think that's one of the things I've really recognized about you, Christina, is that you've given people a very safe space to bring their ideas to the table and know that they're not going to be ridiculed there. That they can stand in their power in a completely different way than they ever have in a lot of other places.
I
I
love
see.
that. I see it as a creative space. Inside creativity, there's really not a lot of room for right and wrong. And when we take right and wrong off the table and we sit in this really beautiful creative space where ideas get to build and you get to refine, you get to pull out the threads of gold from the ideas, carry what you want, let go of what you don't. And nobody's attached other than, was it creative? Was it synergetic? Were we able to help somebody elevate their ideas around their business? That's powerful. That I think is what you're talking about, and it comes not just from me. It's really truly created in that container where we're holding that space and that integrity for everyone's idea and their dream to be realized.
And as you speak, I'm really pulling in that the rest of that thread, which was about how it's so funny because it just keeps floating away, and I think this is the importance of why it needs to come up and be pulled to the front, to the forefront. It's that it's not a competitive world. That you know what, if you sat down with Christina and I and had a conversation with the two of us and the rest of the group, you would actually recognize that the conversations that are being had are enlightening. They're lively. They are. We both coach. We both coach. We both are. I consider we are both powerhouses in our coaching abilities, and people see us for who we are, and yet we feel like it's a beautiful collaboration space versus I'm coming in here to witness so I can run away and do this instead in my business and steal it from you. It's not like that at all. It's more of a beautiful sharing container where people are coming together um, to be themselves and to recognize the power of collaboration versus this is my world and I need to do it my way and the only way is my way and I'm going to steal whatever I can from whatever other person. The collaboration that happens in your world is just truly so very, very powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that if I bring the best of me and you do the same, there's a whole lot of value to be exchanged. And I kind of think of it this way. There is only so much time in a day. If we run out of joy to fill, we can contemplate the other things we could be filling it with. So as far as, having this really creative space where collaboration is what is honored and what is encouraged, I've yet to run into the day that we run out of ideas. When that happens, Sandra Pelly, we can have another discussion around what it might look like alternatively. But for today, this very creative, collaborative space is open to having everyone bring the very best of what they have. I'd like to, it's something my father taught me. It was to bring more than my appetite to the table. And in a collaborative space, that's what you do. You come and you witness and you see where people are hungry and you see what they thirst and long for. And when you have it to give, you give generously. And when everybody does so, everybody feeds and nobody's left hungry. This is what, inspired to create inside these collaborations and inside the World Mastermind Cafe.
I love that. So, what would you like to leave everybody with today?
Well, a heart, centered invitation. Join me for a virtual coffee. Tell me about your dream. Let me see what your big ambitions are and how my community might provide you a space to plant and grow that in amongst other professionals who are all there with that very generous hearted spirit and have beautiful gifts to bring. Knowing that you are one of them, join me for a coffee. Sandra, I know that you can provide that link along with whatever, but that would be my invitation. It's to take that seat at the table, wherever that is in your life, really own those dreams, breathe them into life, share them with another person. Come on into the cafe and share them with us. Let us feel inspired alongside of you. And, in those moments, because we'll all have them, our dreams. We started the conversation, Sandra, and I said, sometimes these dreams, they're a little hard they're kind of wispy. They're like that thought that just kept on escaping you, right? We're trying to land them. And sometimes it takes a beautiful community to thread it all together and give you a beautiful tapestry to wrap yourself up in. It's a great space. I invite you in.
I love that. So now I'm envisioning myself holding my coffee cup and wrapped in a warm, cozy blanket and sitting at the table with you and others and just feeling very empowered and very sure of myself. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you so much, Christina. This has been absolutely incredible. And for those of you who are catching this one, she will also be featured on the Step Into the Light, Step Into Your Life, because she has a beautiful story to tell. And I can't share her enough out there with you guys because of how much of a difference she's made in my life. And I'd love for you to take the opportunity to allow her to help you make a difference in your own life as well. Beautiful. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you so much for having me, Sandra. It's been an honor.
Thank you.